Welcome to Flip This Inn! The show where you don't get to see the process of me renovating this inn. Because I decided one day on a whim I could no longer deal with the rage that looking at this building invoked. Now here's a cheeky little before image. Are you ready? Move that carriage! Look at that. You wouldn't even know that's the same building if I didn't point it out. So let's recap, shall we? We pulled out the middle bit on all these faces because they were flatter than the Croy flavored water, changed the roofs, and because we pulled out the middle bit, we had to reconfigure the stairs. But hopefully now the geniuses won't get stuck on the bushes trying to go to sleep. They probably still will, but I did all I could. Case in point. And now the burning question of the episode. Do I like it now? Well, I don't hate it, and everything it stands for. So I'd say it's at least an improvement. But renovations aside, we have quests and various feats to accomplish before the end, relating to the aforementioned geniuses. Do you dispute it, sir? Okay, I'm sorry. Look, you go back to contemplating your upside down stare. It's okay. I'll leave you to- Yep, there you go. What a lad. So all in all, we have 3 goals. 3 goals that work towards the same end. We're becoming a landlord. The only house in this entire town is mine. Selfish. My animals are housed better than my villagers. Which is funny, but hardly appropriate. If you take a look at the rabble, you will notice a distinct decrease in population from before. They've been leaving, outraged, packing their little rucksacks and heading off. They definitely haven't been slowly dwindling in number because I refused to properly light up the area. No, sir. Those 3 goals, you ask? 3 new homes. Thus we right our wrongs and speedrun to wherever YouTuber ends up eventually anyway. Landholding. Assuredly, we will not be creating more wrongs with this life path. But first, just real quick, your time has come. You have outstayed your welcome. Oh, we're an ornamental wreath. We don't have legs. We can't leave on our own. Grow up. They can't leaf on their own. They can't leaf. They can't leaf. So, as it turns out, I never went back to, ooh, winter. It didn't happen. I did in fact stay firmly rooted in pining for spring. I can't pretend anymore. Look, all I'm saying is if they didn't want to be wantonly destroyed by my hand, then they should have gained sentience and left. It's not that hard. For you, gaining sentience would be the end of your problems. For me, it was the start of them. So what I'm trying to say is you should try new things, okay? You know, branch out. It's not trigonometry. Oh, that's lovely. Now we must return to the alpha landlord grindset mindset. So we'll have 3 new houses. Then we can put some villagers in each of them and spread them out like that instead of trying to hide their work tables around like I planned way back. But just to make sure we have some left for the houses, we better turn that back on. And hopefully this time won't forget that it's on. The first house we're going to be adding is the farmhouse to our barn. And the silos that I said I'd add with the farmhouse will be remaining non-corporeal for the present. And perhaps the future. What are you doing here? Okay. House 1. But we can't stop at just plopping these houses down here. Where's the curb appeal? How could I look Joanna Gaines in the eye with this disgrace to my name, huh? Or, you know, the actual parties concerned, the villagers that will die due to lack of government-sanctioned streetlights. That should probably be the main motivation here. I just don't know if it screams farmhouse enough yet with the hay bales and the wheat field and the wheat field and the wheelbarrow and the wheat field and the wagon and the hay bales. Don't worry, I know exactly what will fix this. See, it just needed another wheat field. My mind is at rest. We could do the interior right now. So the second house is going to be a kind of important continuation, because it's going to be a mushroom house. And I originally planned to have quite a few of these buildings in mushroom-type builds, and then I only did the cafe. Which is okay, this is probably my favorite build, but it's just been the only one of its kind for too long, and I don't want it to start getting the hankering for time travel. So we're going to start making more. And we're going to start with this house right behind ours. And I will do the interiors, okay? Just not right now. Now this one, if I may be so bold, doesn't need much help for the curb appeal. A bit of bone meal spam and a tree and it already looks fine. But I'm me, I can't leave it. Very nice, very nice. Might also want to find a new place to grow my bamboo. And that's about all the effort I'm gonna put into this lawn. Because after staring at the farmhouse lawn for a very long time editing the time-lapse, I realized I hated it. There was just so much going on, and it felt like I was just throwing context clues in your face to compensate for this not really looking like a farmhouse. And we all knew it. So now it's just a nice mushroom garden. The wagon and the wheelbarrow are fine though. That's a bit more subtle than a literal yard of wheat. So I'd say the curb appeal has only increased with this change. And every time I level up in curb appeal, it appeases the HGTV overlords. They go back into hibernation, and a Victorian home is safe from being gutted and painted entirely one earth tone. Producers, please consider renaming one or all house flipping shows to Sad Beige Houses for sad beige people. I think it'd be a hit. This next and last house isn't really going to be getting them very far away from the inn. It's going to go right over here. But there's not a lot over here yet, and I want to start filling in this area. Sorry, I'll get to the house, but I saw a cat I don't remember seeing before, and I wants it. Okay, I've spent several minutes in denial looking for him, but I think he's despawned. He looked so fluffy. Am I doomed to spend the rest of my life reaching for fluffy tan cat that I cannot have? Yeah, I have never seen that kind of cat before. Where did it come from? Where did it go? Anyway, we can get started on the third house now, I guess. It's my favorite of the three. Like it matters now. Fluffy cat is gone. A ghost, you say? A ghost, maybe. She was just like a ghost to me. Yep, I did that. Strong, independent landlord who does not need a very fluffy cat. Yeah, sorry, just give me a minute, okay? Just... Right. So this one is definitely my favorite out of the three, and very high up on the list of my favorite of any of these builds. The mushroom house very nearly won first place just because it's so darn cute, but alas. This one's just interesting to look at. I just saw that clump of mushrooms through the grass and I thought it was the cat. Anyway, I'm just kind of proud of this one. I like that it's a more interesting shape than what I've gone with previously, because this whole overhang style I've got going on, while it looks cool, it also kind of stinks, because you're somewhat limited in the kind of shapes you can do with buildings, and still make them look right. Like with this, I've had to figure out a lot of compromises where like this would normally be a stair and a trapdoor. Instead it's just trapdoor. And flat. And I just saw glowing pants. Aha. Oh, there's more. Get jailed, idiot. A lot of good your shiny pants are doing you now, huh, bud? So even though it took a bit longer to build initially and figure out the placement of everything, I think it was worth it. I like this one a lot. And if you couldn't tell, I am just kind of sick of the flat. You're not fluffy. I mean, you are fluffy, but you're not my fluffy anyway. Your court hearing is in 5 hours. Yeah, you should be afraid, after what you did. The crimes I can forgive, but the pants? Not so easily. They brought forward his hearing. But our pal does bring up a valid point. I think we might have to do the insides now. Stop taunting me. But luckily for me, and for everyone's eyes, we don't have to figure out full interiors for this one or the farmhouse. They don't need an upstairs, it'll simply confuse the portiers. And 1 floor of decorating in each is very manageable. Not that I am still intimidated by the concept of interiors, definitely not. I could do the 2nd floors. However, out of benevolence and laziness, I shan't. Hold up, gosh dang it, I forgot the curb appeal. There we go. I also came back over here and put in streetlights, because I forgot again, and did some path texturing. It's really baffling me that I could forget so easy a means of procrastinating the interiors. I do now also realize that that means the only curb appeal time-lapse that I have is from the one that is now completely different to the way I built it in the time-lapse, making it pointless. But you know what? I tried. Now insides. Welcome to the first of 3 very open concept houses, which for the HGTV bit and the villagers is swell. And in this one I made sure to scatter a couple composters around so that the villagers that we bring over will look the part of the farm. We're providing them free housing, but so help me, they will meet my terms for aesthetics. This one was just fun. Just a magical little place. Very large place, actually. Definitely hefty on the square feet, this one. But then again, aren't we all? the square feet. We all have square feet. For this one, I decided to throw in the brewing stands so they'd become clerics, and again, fit the vibe. And also because I didn't have one set up anywhere. I'm gonna have to do a bit of finagling with these vines, otherwise they're gonna be climbing up them and throwing themselves from the ramparts. Dagnabbit. And in a bit of painful irony, my favorite house has my least favorite interior. That's alright, I guess. In this one, I just kind of threw down a bunch of my leftover workstations, and this is what happens when I don't have a clear career aesthetic to work towards. They give me an aesthetic outfit, I give them a house that makes sense. Like, what even is this? Where they shred cheese? Nah, see, they use the friction from the stone to dry their hands. Oh wait, there's no sink! I need to leave this one. This one isn't good for me. Now all that remains to be done is to get them to their houses, which will go off without a hitch. It will go off without a hitch. So I've jerry-rigged up a railroad, which I most definitely do not have enough rails for, but we can recycle. This route splits off and goes to the farmhouse and the mushroom house. And over here is a separate one for this house that, if I was patient, they'd probably just wander over to. But I am not patient. Greetings. How's unsolitary confinement? At least they didn't merge into one solid mass this time, that's good. Wait. No, they did. Let's rock and roll, buckaroo. There we go. 3 sent to each house, surprisingly without incident. Well, much. And the rest will just chill here at the inn. Now, I'm guessing this will end up being a grand ol' waste of time because the me-sanctioned streetlights are only gonna do so much. They'll be heading off to the Andes, like the rest of their kin. So it took me a single minute to decide to not recycle the rails because I'd rather it be a waste of resources than my time. And they weren't actually as expensive as I thought they were anyway, so I just win. Oh yeah, there was also the dude that just ran off into the farm. He has disappeared under mysterious circumstances. It's okay. They don't have to appreciate the work that I put in. They can wander off into the fields if they wish. I'm not upset. But with or without the villagers' approval, we have 3 new lovely houses that are helping to fill up space. And while I would very much wish to enforce a dress code here as I am in the outskirts, there's so many of them. Why do so many of you like fish? I can't be bothered to take out all the barrels again. I can't do it. I feel like we have performed our landlordly duties very well. Stay tuned to next episode to see if any of our tenants survive. I wouldn't count on it. Personally. May not be good for business to admit that, but I gotta be truthful. You are completely safe. And with that, I love you guys, take care, and I'll see you soon. You're kidding me. What are you doing here? Just because my tenants died doesn't mean you get to come in here. Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold.